Yo, it's Trivelli. I'm back, and today we are talking NBA playoff implications. We've got a three-way tie for the 4 seed in the East between the Miami Heat, Atlanta Hawks, and New York Knicks, all tied at 38 and 31. I'll break down all the possible scenarios and tiebreakers going through the final week of the NBA regular season. If you guys can, please like, comment, and subscribe because it really helps to push this channel to thousands, if not millions of people. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. That way you can get the notifications for when I'm dropping videos on the daily. Now, without further ado, I drop videos Monday through Friday. I'm never slacking. Let's jump into the action.
I'm living life like this. Maybe give a little glimpse, maybe give a...
So a week ago, I made a video very similar to this one about the Celtics, the Hawks, and the Heat all being jumbled up to get the 5, 6, and 7 seed. However, not even a day later, Jaylen Brown goes out for the season for the Celtics. They go on a 3-game losing streak, really relinquishing their chances of avoiding that NBA play-in tournament. They will now be either the 7 or the 8 seed. So the Heat hold the tiebreaker over the Knicks, but not the Hawks, but the Hawks hold the tiebreaker over the Knicks. So basically, the way you want to think about this is there are tons of different scenarios that this could play out. If the Heat have the same record as the Knicks, but the Hawks are 1 game behind, then ultimately the Heat will have the 4 seed. If the Heat and the Hawks tie, the Knicks are a game behind, then the Hawks will have the 4 seed. And if the Knicks and the Hawks are tied, but the Heat are behind, then unfortunately for the Hawks, the Knicks will have the 4 seed. So now that we know that Boston is no longer relevant and we know the tiebreaker situation, we should talk about the strength of schedules for the remaining teams and kind of what they've been doing recently. You've got the Heat on a 3-game win streak. You have the Hawks winning 1 and the Knicks losing last night to the Lakers in a really close overtime thriller. So if we break down the schedules for each team, we can start with the Miami Heat. They have a very difficult schedule remaining, playing Philadelphia at home on Thursday, and then they have to finish out the season with back-to-back games on the road and 2 games at Milwaukee and Detroit. The Hawks, on the other hand, have a schedule of versus Washington, versus Orlando, and versus Houston, all at home, a very easy schedule. And then you have the New York Knicks playing versus San Antonio at home, versus Charlotte at home, and versus Boston at home. So definitely the Hawks and the Knicks seem to have the better chance here, but I honestly do believe the Heat have a good chance to knock off the Hawks and the Knicks for that 4 spot. And obviously it's super important to get home court advantage in these playoffs where fans are going to be allowed back. It's not in a bubble, so it does mean a whole lot more than it did last year. I think that the Heat are going to be able to knock off Philly at home, and that's going to put them on a 4-game win streak where they could carry that energy into Milwaukee on the road, win that, and then Detroit really has nothing to play for. They're playing probably a minimal amount of starters in that game on Sunday, May 16th, where I believe that the Heat will just have so much more to play for and they will just not concede a loss at Detroit. The reason why I feel that the Heat are going to go on a 6-game winning streak like they are to finish the season is pretty much that that's the team they've been all season long. When they get 2 or 3 in a row, they love to go on win streaks. This team has had multiple 4, 5, 6 game win streaks this season, and so that's why I truly believe that they could finish out this season on a 6-game win streak. There's nothing to suggest that Atlanta should not do the same. The Hawks also don't have a reason to lose another game. Playing 3 relatively easy teams at home to finish out the season, there's no reason to lose, but I saw such a close game, and I saw such a close game versus Washington last time, and Russell Westbrook was really playing well. I believe they actually could slip up and lose to Washington, not Orlando or Houston for the most part, but Washington could give them a run for their money tonight, so we'll definitely have to keep a close eye on that. And if they do end up losing versus Washington, that could really hinder their chances of getting that 4 seed. Every game at this point is crucial. And we're going to finish out with the New York Knicks, who play 3 home games here versus relatively easy teams at this point, considering that Jaylen Brown is not going to be playing for Boston, and the Knicks are pretty much playing for their home court lives here. I do see the Knicks having an advantage in that Boston game. I have them winning the Charlotte game and San Antonio game straight up, so they could finish the season 3-0. Now, here's the catalyst that I believe is going to propel Miami to that 4 seed. Again, playing for their home court lives, on a 3-game winning streak right now. Everybody dialed in, locked in, and for the most part, the team is relatively as healthy as they have been at any point in the season, minus Oladipo. I think that they're going to go and win these last 3 games. And when they do, if the Atlanta Hawks lose tonight to Washington, it sets up Miami for a clear path to get that 4th seed, where Atlanta and New York are then going to be battling for the 5 and 6. And like I said, New York does have the tiebreaker over Atlanta, which could send Atlanta spiraling down all the way to the 6th seed. If they do lose tonight versus Washington, again, I have no shot of them losing to Orlando or Houston, but I do see a possibility for Atlanta to lose to Washington tonight. I have a possibility for the New York Knicks and Miami Heat to run the table, both of them. Atlanta, on the other hand, like I said, shaky performance at Indiana on Thursday, another shaky performance versus Washington on Monday. And if they lose tonight versus Washington, it's pretty much all over for Atlanta. You can kiss that 4 seed goodbye. And so I'm going to say it right here, right now. I have the Miami Heat at the 4 seed. I have the New York Knicks taking the 5 seed, and the Atlanta Hawks will be the 6 seed. And this is really good because now you're going to get my next video. If this does happen, the Miami Heat versus New York Knicks rivalry could be alive and well as of a week from now. I'll keep you guys updated on that later. Please like, comment, and subscribe like I said before, and have yourself a beautiful day. Peace.
I'm living